Melissa sat alone in her hotel room again, enjoying the peace and quiet. She took another painkiller as her arm was starting to bother her again. It was obvious to her that Wilson had sent those people to protect her from the press in order to convince her she should join the protest. Would it be so bad if she did? Clearly the cops in this town were screwed up. Whether it was them behind the kidnapping or not, clearly the men who bundled her into the van were aware of the warning they gave her the first time she left the police station. What was that about? She took out her phone and answered a text from her mom, who was now checking in with her every 10 minutes and going into a blind panic if she didn't respond immediately. It was a message from Shania that caught her eye. Saw the protest last night. Did you join in? No, Melissa responded. I was too tired and sad. You joining tonight though, right? There's going to be another one. I don't know, Shan. Howie's brother asked me to, but I just don't feel up to it. You got kidnapped, Mel. Aren't you pissed? Melissa smiled. Mad as fuck. But how does protesting help? I went on a march last year in Toronto, remember? Against high tuition fees? Yeah, I was sick, so I missed it. And how did you feel? Bummed. I wanted to go. I regret not going. Yeah, and now you have another opportunity to make a statement about something even more important. Melissa got the point. Thanks, Shan. Love you. Be awesome, guy. I'm a Virginia state senator. Of course I have enemies. Agent Clark clicked his tongue in a manner that was already becoming irritating to Tim Barnes. Your sarcasm is not helpful, he said in that slow drone of his. Tim felt uncomfortable whenever he spoke, like an angry wasp had landed on his face and he couldn't move, but he couldn't relax either. These two FBI agents, Clark and Ortega, arrived at Tim's door about 10 minutes ago, and since then had demanded he tell the whole story of Melissa Jones' kidnapping twice. There wasn't much to tell, so they switched to asking him who might be motivated to frame him. Senator Barnes, Agent Ortega began. She smiled at him in an attempt to put him at ease. She was clearly used to people's reaction to her partner's manner. Obviously, a man in your position has made enemies, but not all of those enemies are willing to kidnap someone and tie them up in your basement in an attempt to frame you. Is there anyone you can think of who you recently made an enemy of? Tim wasn't an idiot. These agents might well operate at a level well above Lionel Granger's sphere of influence, but any attempt on Tim's part to implicate the old fucker was not going to be met with a reasoned, measured response. What came next? A dead hooker in his bed? Threats against his ex-wife? An accidental electrical fire in his house? Tim was no coward, but he wasn't an idiot either. He wasn't about to let Granger intimidate him into capitulation, but neither was he going to do anything so obvious it would immediately bring about retribution. Tim knew now what Granger was capable of. He was a dangerous man to be sure, and not one to piss off unless one was absolutely sure it wasn't going to backfire. There's nobody I can think of. What was your relationship with Miss Jones prior to the incident in your basement? Why did everyone assume he already knew this woman? We never met before. I had seen her on the news regarding her boyfriend's shooting, but we never crossed paths before. Clark didn't seem satisfied with this, but Tim didn't care. He wanted these two out of his house before they blundered into the situation and caused him more problems. Ortega gave that smile again, half apologetic and half placating. "Have you spoken to Miss Jones since the incident?" she asked. "Nope. She went her way and I went mine. I don't know why she got caught up in this. I feel terrible about everything that's happened to her over the past couple of days. But beyond that, we haven't had any contact. The man that was in your basement, can you describe him to us?" Tim stared at Clark for a moment. "I already gave my description to the police." "I know, but we'd like to hear it." Tim sighed. "Fine. Well, he was big, over 200 pounds for sure. He had a mask on and gloves. But I think that's all I can tell you." Ortega stood up. "Well, we won't take any more of your time, Senator Barnes." Clark seemed reluctant to leave, but Ortega pressed ahead anyway. Tim saw them out and then returned to his TV. Watching the news, he saw that the protesters were out on the streets again. He reached for his jacket and keys. He should be out marching with them. Then one of the demonstrators caught his eye. It was Melissa, marching arm in arm with Howie's brother, Wilson, and other members of Black Lives Matter, right at the head of the protest. If Tim was going to try to build a case against Granger, it would be smart to understand Melissa's side of the story. Perhaps he should talk to her. He switched off the TV, grabbed his backpack, and headed out to join the protest. This is the end of chapter 8 of the book titled "They Want You Dead."